Hey everyone, my name is Coree Nash. I'm a junior social work major from Gina, Louisiana.
And my name is Ebenezer Aggrey. I'm a senior business administration major from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
And welcome to Burning Conversations, where we keep the flame alive with entertainment and things we know you want to hear.
We have Burning to let you know the truth and the spill. Here we have our lovely guest, and I'll let her introduce herself.
My name is Lauryn Vernon. I'm a freshman biology major.
I appreciate you for coming on the show, Lauryn. Our topic we're going to talk about is Women's Appreciation Month. And so the first thing I want to ask you are, what are some key milestones or achievements in women's history that we should celebrate during this momentous occasion this month?
Well, the most recent one to me is obviously our Vice President, Kamala Harris. And, I mean, like, no matter what side of government you're on or like what you believe, I just still think it's just an amazing thing that there's a woman in the government representing everybody at such a high position, because growing up a lot of girls probably don't think like, oh, the president's always a man, or oh, like I could never get that far, but just seeing that there is a woman with so much power just like over this country is also just a great thing to see. Another thing would be our own student here, Bailey Willis. Mm-hmm. She's been the SGA president for 2 years in a row, and that's crazy. I see Bailey all around campus, and she's just so cool. I mean, she just does everything. Like, you always see her, and she's doing something. Like, she's just someone that everybody around campus can kind of, like, look up to say, like, oh, I can just make such an impact on campus, even with the 4 years that I have here. Another thing that I also heard was we had a woman, I don't know how you say it, initiated, I don't know, into the Supreme Court, which is wild. I don't know. I feel like it's just mostly a bunch of men in there. So I don't know. I mean, that's just cool that we got a woman representing us in the court on trial.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the big thing that you talked about was representation and how important it is to see people who look like you, essentially, in those positions. Mm-hmm. That's something that, like, I always look forward to and look into whenever I'm applying for things or want to be in a certain spaces, is who was in those positions that look like me, right? Mm-hmm.
And it's like good, like especially when you come to college and you see people that look like you in all these different organizations. Like, I came from a small town, and so it wasn't really too many things offered. So when I came to college and being able to do so many stuff, and I have a lot of other black guys that look like me doing it, I see, the black women doing it, like, doing good jobs, and it's like, it makes you, like, feel good about yourself. And I know, like, seeing other black women doing stuff, too, achieving things here on campus, makes you feel good.
Because we got to PWI, so, I mean, like, majority of the population is white. Mm-hmm. So, like, sometimes you're like, oh, like, am I even going to, like, be able to, like, get those opportunities because, like, how much, like, overpowered we are in a way. Yeah. But once you, like, make the right connections and you just put yourself out there, like, you realize that it's not always, I guess, in our minds, like, about color. Like, sometimes people are just there just to help you be the best student that you can in whatever way that is. You're just like, I love NSTU.
And you're a freshman connector now, orientation leader. You literally just came from a summer of watching freshman connectors, and now you're a freshman connector yourself.
Props to you.
You're also, if you want to tell your title, we see you got your sash on today.
Miss Gold, which was also the year before Miss Bailey Willis. Following the footsteps.
And so, you're talking about, like, all these different women achieving these different things. How do you think we can, keep promoting gender equality?
Honestly, just putting ourselves out there. A lot of the times we try and, like, I'm going to use me as a prime example. Recently, I just got co-captain of the pom line here. And I didn't tell anybody.
Coming out now.
Lauren is co-captain of the pom line.
I told my mama and, like, 2 friends. And Miss Retha was like, why didn't you tell me? And I was like, I just didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Like, I didn't want to, like, put myself... And, like, we shouldn't have to do that. To, like, we shouldn't have to, like, hide what we've achieved just because we're afraid of, like, hurting other people's feelings or, like, nervous of what other people are going to think, because it is something that people should be proud of. Like, we all tried out for it, we all worked for it, and, like, whatever positions we got, this is what we got. But at the same time, like, it's something that I'm proud of and that other people should be proud of, no matter how they feel about it. You
Yeah, no matter if y'all went for the same position or, you know.
And so, like, a lot of
that.
times I feel like we don't put what we do as women out there to show the world that, like, hey, we can do this too. It's not just men that can do it.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever going to change anything if they don't see us changing too. Like, we gotta, like, take the steps.
I think we do that a lot, especially like when we do achieve a lot and we hold it back, and it's like, because I know I do that a lot. Like, I won't say I achieved this or I did this, because I didn't want to come off that person like, oh, he bragging or he thinks he's better than me or anything like that. Like, I didn't want to be that person. So a lot of achievements I do hold back and don't say until like it just comes out of nowhere,
until
you
you're
know.
asked and things
And it's and I probably like should like I know I need to stop doing that because it's like down in myself. Like, I want to be able to say to people like. And it's not just so like
get your flowers.
Yeah, it's not just for people to say like, "Oh, he bragging," or like, "Oh, good job, Corey, you the best," like things like that. It's really just so like I feel validated for going for that whatever I went for, you know.
Yeah, and I think it's about how you go about it, right? I am a person who is actions speak louder than words, and I feel like you should look at my actions and my work speaks for itself, right? But just being given the advice of you got to give yourself flowers, you gotta promote yourself and talk about yourself and talk highly about yourself, because if you don't do it, then nobody else will. Yeah. And so again, that brings it back to the representation, and people are looking at you and how you impact your life and how you impact other people's life. And one question I want to ask is, who are some influential women that have impacted your life?
This is cliche, but my mom.
Say it louder.
Shout out to moms out here, man.
Always my mom.
Yeah.
My mom has worked at I went to Simsbury High School from pre-K all the way to 12th grade, and she worked there the whole time. So she was always around. She knew she knew where I was, what I did, what I didn't do. But just seeing how she like interacts with people in like a work environment, because for a while she was the only black person in the building, especially like black woman. So like just seeing her like work with people who like didn't have the same struggles as her, didn't go through the same things, it was just like awesome to see. And eventually for the past 2 years she's been the guidance counselor, which is even crazier because that position is like you're in the office, you're in the close circle of like the people that run the school. So like the way that she's just impact all the students at that school, and just a lot of people call her best friend, and I'm like, okay, thank you. But like it's just amazing to just see how much she's impacted all the high schoolers and even elementary, just like in the 2 years that she's had the position, because it was something that she was like, oh, I don't know if I'll get it, and she did. So that goes back to like believing in ourselves and like putting ourselves out there, because we never know what we can do. Yes.
I would say, I'm gonna say my mom. Lauren gave a good example of why, you know, our moms and stuff like that. But I'm gonna say, and recently I used to always say my mom when like these type of questions came up. But I'm gonna say my this is my youngest, like my younger sister, but she's the oldest sister out of all my sisters. So I'm gonna say her name's Coree, hopefully attending NSU 2026, fall 2026. And so really I say her because like I just seen her change from like when she was younger to now maturing and things like that. And like when I say one of my biggest fans is her, like one of my biggest fans is her. Like she literally texts, she send my stuff in our family group chat if she see it online on Instagram and on Facebook. And like I don't get to see my family as much. So when I see her highlighting my stuff, being at a younger age and like recognizing that stuff, like it makes me feel good, and it makes like me feel like seen, and like that she like respects me, and you know, like she appreciates what I do and proud of me too, you know.
I would have to say my mom, man. I mean, I know, like, but shout out to the moms, man. They like seeing how my mom interacts with people and how diligent in the work that she does, man. It's like my love of service definitely comes from her, right? Because she holds it down every time, even when people may not deserve her services, she still gives it. Like, she is the embodiment of who I want to be in life. And so that's why I say my mom.
Since it is Women's Appreciation Month and we are on a campus and we have a lot of women faculty and staff, maybe we can, highlight some important women that work at NSU that made a big impact in our lives so far.
Okay, I'm gonna do like students and like faculty.
Okay.
Definitely Ms. Rita. I feel like she's just a big one everywhere.
I ain't gonna if somebody was gonna say it, I feel like if I would have went off first, I would have said Rita. I feel like if you would have went off, you probably would have said Rita.
Because she just, I don't know, she just cares so much about us. Like, it's just crazy. Like, the other day, I worked an event, and she just took me and somebody else around just to meet a whole bunch of people just to say, like, you never know, like, what jobs anything gonna get. And just the fact that she took time out of her night to sit there and like show us like more of like the school and like more of the people that we can know and to further like our lives is just insane because everybody else would just been like, oh no, this is my all time, see y'all Monday. But like she just cares so much, and it's just crazy how much like a person could care about that many students and like how much they do on this campus and like encourage people to like be the best version of themselves. Just awesome.
I would say Yana.
Yana,
boss, man. She holds it down every time. Just seeing how she works well with students. She's always willing to help. She always takes time out of her day. She's very organized. She is the blueprint of how we should operate and follow every step in every operation that we're gonna do.
I would have to say MK, Miss Mary Catherine. I would say like she really took me under her wing, and I really call her and Rita like my second moms. Like my mom's on campus and everything, and like she really like a great person that sometimes when you meet people you be like, okay, they're doing this because it's their job, but then you got some people who you like, okay, they're doing this because they love their job and they actually care about the people that they're working with. And like this actually like she helped me like get involved on campus, which changed my whole college experience around. So I have to say MK.
Yeah.
Will do. Will do.
All right, so Lauren, so we know you're on the Palm Line team, and now you're the co-captain of Palm Line. That's for the year of 2024 to 2025. Okay, so since we're talking about women empowerment and things like that, how do y'all work together as a team to lift each other up and show that y'all appreciate each other and just empower each other?
I feel like number one thing is like motivating each other because like some people like this year specifically, like not everybody came from like the same experience and background from dance that a few of us did. Like some of us studios, competitions, like we did the whole 9 yards, and then we had some people who were just cheerleaders or like they just went to dance like a few days a week. So I guess just like motivating them, like it's not impossible to like do any of it because throughout the whole year all of them have grown in like ways that nobody can grow in just the span of like 2 semesters, and it's just crazy to like look at them and just see like how much work they put in and like the effort they put in because they love the team and they want to do better, and just showing that we're there for each other because we are a team at the end of the day. No matter how much we may bicker, fight, we always just come together because whether we like it or not, we're all best friends. At some point in the day, we're all best friends, and it's just great to know that many people are just there. Like even when I don't have friends on campus, like I know I can go to my team and be okay. Like one of the main reasons I tried out for the dance team, I was like, number one, I danced my whole life, so I want to keep dancing, but I was like, I'm gonna go in with people that I already know into college, so if I don't make friends, it's okay.
There you go.
I got people on the dance team, and obviously I did make more friends, but they're just always a group of people that I know I can just migrate towards and always go to because I know they're gonna be there to talk to me, listen to me, help me with homework, help me go work out with me or anything. Like they're just always there no matter what. It's just so nice of them.
I just really think we should ask this question because I feel like I know we did a barbershop talk for an organization we're a part of called Black Male Alliance, and we did it last year around the same time, and we asked a question about what can men do to help empower women and lift them up.
Okay.
And we had a lot of women just they came down our necks.
They told us
about our heads for real. And so we just want to hear your point of view of what do you think us as men can do to empower women, or what can we change that we do to like probably bring them down, things like that.
I would say maybe not discredit women when they do something. Mm-hmm. And I only say that because I'm not gonna call their names, but the other day I was just talking and I was talking about how.
And just remember, this is on the podcast on YouTube.
Okay, I'm
so
aware.
This story might just get right back to.
But I was just talking about an opportunity that like may open in the future, like on campus. And everybody else was like, oh my gosh, yes, like that sounds so fun. And there was one person who was a boy, and he was like, what? I didn't get asked, and I worked my butt off, and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, I have too. Like, come on, like, I don't know what you mean by that. And I don't know, we both have the same opportunities and the same, like, networking and whatever. So just because I may have gotten offered that opportunity in the moment also doesn't mean that he isn't either. So I feel like he just automatically just like, oh, well, I've worked hard and blah, 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 blah. And maybe he didn't mean it that way, but it's just the fact that...
how it came on.
That kind of like pinpoint who real friends are. Like, I feel like if me and Eb close and we do all the same things together, and he gets offered something and he tells me about it, but it's something I wanted to, I'm going to congratulate him, give him his flowers, and say, man, I really hope it goes through with him. But if I was that friend to be like, dang, I wonder why I ain't get asked, that's discrediting him for like what he's done so far. And
it goes back to like women not wanting to like put what they've done out there. Like, I don't know,
having
like,
to hide
exactly
their
like
and things like that.
Okay, like another thing is like he doesn't even know if he was gonna even get asked. Like, just because I got asked on Tuesday doesn't mean that you're not gonna get asked on Wednesday. Like, we can't just automatically just assume that just because I got something and you just feel like you just automatically worked harder than me, which
that's the way it makes you feel.
I don't know, like maybe we've done the same amount of work. Maybe I worked more than him. Maybe he has, but he just automatically, I've worked hard and blah blah blah. I have too. Okay. I've also done things.
So we need to give y'all flowers, not trying to compare. Not trying to compare and contrast of why you got it and why I didn't.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we got something else?
No, I'm just stop.
Let's hear you nothing else?
No, I don't know. I can't just like think off the top of my head.
This next question ties into kind of the question that Corey asked before is how can we ensure that women's voices are heard? So,
kind of like the friends thing, like open, welcoming environment. If I go into a friendship or a job or whatever and I don't feel like what I say is even going to be like even valued or even thought about in the slightest way, I'm not going to say anything at all. And then I'm just constantly going to be in this little shell where I just don't progress or anything. So women are now still at the bottom and like whoever it is at the top. And then also confidence. Because I don't know, me myself, I'm confident, but not when it comes to like things that I do. Like even like my degree right now, I'm like, oh Lord, am I smart enough to become a doctor? Like, ooh, this math is a little hard. And like, I don't know, like we're not confident enough that we can achieve the high goals that are set in life. We always just doubt ourselves and constantly like talk down on ourselves because we just feel like we can't do anything. Just not true. And then also comparison. I don't know. That's a big thing in like not just like men and women, but like women in general. We compare each other a lot, especially like on social media, because everything on social media is not always real. But in the moment, it's like, oh, I want that life. Like, dang, like what am I doing that they're doing? But we have to think like everything on TikTok or Instagram isn't what really goes on behind the screen. And I feel like a lot of the times we're just comparing like, oh, she has this and I don't, or oh, she does and I don't. We just need to stop and be ourselves. Like, oh. And
realize that like everybody's at their own journey.
Yes.
Well, it was a good thing that you were talking about confidence and things like that. And, you know, the way we start to, we try to end off on the podcast, we try to end off with a quote. And so the quote I have today is by Oprah Winfrey, and it's for Women's Appreciation Month. And the quote says, "Think like a queen. A queen is not afraid to fail. Failure is another stepping stone to greatness." So
she ate.
Hey with that.
But that was our quote for the end of the podcast. Again, my name is Coree Nash.
And I'm Ebenezer Aggrey.
And you're listening to Burning Conversations, where we keep the flame alive.
Mm-hmm. Tune into the special edition, E-edition, that's out right now with the current sauce. All right, see you.
Yes.